Hello, and welcome back to the Lifeboat Live with me, absolutely Arian. And I am so excited to have you guys here on tonight to talk about one of those days. Please don't take it personal, as Monica said, the songwriter said, as we say in church. We are talking about how sometimes, just in life, we go up and down in our seasons emotionally. And sometimes we just have a day, or sometimes it's a week, or, of just feeling like, it's one of those days. And so I'm gonna be talking with Ms Ashley Nicole Cook about just how to navigate those days, those weeks, along with, sometimes having to communicate with our friends, our family, when we are having one of those days or one of those weeks. And so I'm not even going to drag this on any longer, but I just want to ask whoever, as you're coming in, if you're watching on the replay, welcome. We're no longer here, but you're also welcome to leave comments, likes, and I will definitely always get back to them and read them. But if you're watching here live right now, I would love for you to just let me know who you are, where you're watching from. Just leave a comment so we can greet you, interact with you, because I love to hear from you guys as well. Make sure you like, comment, tag some of your friends in the comments, share, hit the share button so that, other people can also get in on this conversation as well. If you're watching on YouTube, well, welcome as well. Your comments will come through, but make sure that you subscribe and hit the little bell up on the side for notifications whenever we go live. So now, without further ado, I would love to bring to the stage none other than the Ms Ashley Nicole Cook to join us on tonight in this. Hi, I think you're frozen.
Can y'all see and hear me?
Oh, I can hear you, but you're just frozen. Hold on, let me see. Let's do that again. Welcoming to the stage none other than the Ashley Nicole. Welcome.
Hey, y'all.
Oh, now you're a black screen. I don't know what's going on.
I can see you. I can see me. I see both pictures.
Oh, okay, I don't know. I guess it is just really going to be one of them days because, honey,
listen,
it's giving technical difficulties.
It's okay. It matches up with my eye. I got one lash on. I got one contact in. My edges
Listen, my edges are not laid. All right. I just put a little conditioner in this thing to get it to look a little more decent. But I'm
great. You
glowing? Huh?
I said you glowing.
That's what do you call it now?
Don't you say no bronzer?
Oh no, not the. I was gonna say something, but the joke is just dead now because I forgot what the word is. So, all right, whatever. So I don't know why I can't see you, Ashley. Let me see. Yeah, you're giving black screen on here too.
I see.
Let me try and remove you again.
Let's see here.
Is your camera turned off maybe?
No. Like I see me and yeah, my camera's on, off, on. Nothing.
Mm-mm.
All right, I'm gonna go out and come back in.
All right, cool. Oh, okay. Well, just bear with us, guys, because literally the topic is just running right in to what's happening right now on this live. Glory to God. Huh? Well, have you guys ever been like in a funk and just kind of, you know, just having, I wouldn't even, it's like a place between like just having a bad day and depression. You're not quite in a depression, but you're not, but you're also just having a heck of a week or a day. Hello.
You see me?
I see you. And your one lash. What is
Oh,
going on, girl?
one lash. Huh? As
Yeah,
Tabitha Brown says, get into it. Get
get
into
into
it.
it. I love it. Well, you're gonna go ahead and have one lash today, honey.
Yes.
Cause
One lash and one eye.
what's going on with the eye?
There's no contact.
Oh,
I'm missing a contact. There's something going on with my eyeball, so I can't put anything on it. No lashes, no makeup. Can't put anything in it. So, yeah.
well, bless God.
Hallelujah. So it is one of those days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh,
Ruby.
Ruby's having one of them days too. It looks like because she's just gonna show out now.
Tripping.
Ruby, stop. Okay, girl. Maybe I should have rethought what I named this topic tonight because it looks like it's just drawing foolishness.
We can call it something else.
All right. Well, as Monica said, it's just one of those days. Don't take it personal. I just want to be all alone. When you think is it, or, but you think I treat you wrong?
Yes.
Like that? Mm-hmm.
Yes. But don't take it personal.
But don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal.
Huh?
Come on now.
So like, I was just kind of telling the people as you were kind of gone for a moment, that like, you know, sometimes you go through those moments where you're not quite depressed, but you're also like not in the best place. You're in this like in between place where you're just loving the glasses, loving the frames, where you're just kind of like in this limbo of emotions where, you know, you're maybe pensive and you just feel like you just need space alone to process it and go through the emotions.
The word. Go ahead.
What I say? Did I say literally?
No, pensive. Go ahead.
Pensive, girl, pensive.
Go ahead.
I forgot about that for a second. Pensive, right? And you just need to be all alone and just think through what you're going through, right? Or like just, you know. And I had one of those weeks this week. I was having a blah kind of week where, you know, I did something that I hadn't done. You know, it was a series of different things, you know, with grief. You know, I was having a little anxiety. And then also, yeah, just other factors that were playing into me just having a very secluded week, you know. And you picked it up because, you know, even our communication had been a little like unintentionally on my end anyhow, had been like more scarce. And like it's been to the point where I haven't even wanted to pick up the phone to a lot of people because I just needed to be alone. Right. And so how do you navigate those days when you have businesses to run, work to do, relationships to maintain, you know what I mean? And also taking care of you. How do you navigate it? How do you navigate it when you're kind of having one of those days?
So I think that it's important that we actually have those days and go through everything that comes with those days. I think we try our best to get out of feeling down or feeling depressed or feeling sad, I don't know what the urgency is for us to get out of that space to get back to our happy place,
Mhm.
where everything is just kind of like exciting and it makes sense and everything is routine. There's an urgency for us to get back to that, and we call that normal. And when we say things like, I want to get back to normal, it makes it sound like going through hard times or going through sadness or experiencing um, depression or whatever you're experiencing would make it sound like that's not a part of being normal. And it is a part of everyone's normal. Not everybody is happy. I mean, everyone is not happy 24/7. And we have so
Well,
many
social media
emotions.
would fool you though, and
Huh?
have you I said, but social media will fool you and have you think that some people's life is like happy
Yes,
go lucky, you know what I mean? So yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and I think that I think it's important like tonight to actually just talk about, the reality that of what everybody goes through. And it doesn't have to be a depressing conversation, but it is acknowledging that you do have those days. I had a similar week, and it's amazing how so many people can be going through the same type of disappointments or even different disappointments around the same time. And you
Yeah,
can just feel it, and you feel things, I think, based off of relationship. And when you have established a relationship with someone, you
yeah,
can tell when something is off, when something is not right. And like you said earlier, like I kind of felt like something was different, not in a bad way. But I'm like, yeah, let me see what's going on. Let me check in. Because on my end, I was kind of feeling the same thing that you were feeling on your end. Um, but um, I think we were just kind of feeling it like separately. And all of a sudden we were having a conversation today and realized, like, you know what, this whole week we've been going through kind of similar symptoms of something. And it's okay to actually experience it. So the question that you asked me was, how do I navigate through it? Um, I experience it. I make it a part. Oh, we lost Arian, but I'm gonna keep going. Um, we lost. Did we lose you, Arian? I guess we did. I'm gonna keep going. So one of the ways that I navigate through it is, like I said, to experience it and to be true and be honest with myself that if I'm not feeling it today, then I'm not feeling it today. And I think one of the things that you can do with your community is learn how to communicate what you're going through to your community. One of the things that I will do is if I'm just not emotionally available to handle anybody else's struggles or what anybody else is going through, I will communicate that. As someone who is often pulled on because I give so much of myself to everyone that I come in contact with. Even on social media, majority of my platform goes towards giving people hope, giving people encouragement. And so when you do that on a consistent basis, you're going to build a certain level of trust with your audience, and your audience is going to begin to feel safe. They're going to begin to feel like they can trust you and that they can be vulnerable with you. And so they'll reach out and then they'll confide in you. And then you become a vault, and you become help to them as best as you can. I'm not a therapist, not yet. And so I'm careful about giving people any course of treatment per se, but I will encourage them to do certain things or even offer some advice based off of things that I've done and how it worked out for me. But I have built a certain level of trust with people, and they feel comfortable with talking to me about things. And then there are just certain days where I just don't have the capacity. So what I may do is I may leave the message on read. I mean, may leave the message unread until I'm emotionally available to respond, or I will read the message and I will respond and let them know, hey, thanks so much for reaching out. I appreciate you sharing. something of this importance with me for finding a safe space in me, and just appreciate them for that, and then let them know I'm currently dealing with something right now, but as soon as I can, I'm going to reach back out to you with some help. If I can give them a time frame, like I'll reach out to you in like a day or two, then I'll do that. So we're still waiting on Arian to come back. I'm not sure what happened, but like I said earlier, I think it is good for us to recognize that there are going to be days where we're not feeling it, and it's okay. One of my favorite albums that Chandler Moore put out was called Feelings, and it is such an intimate album, or intimate. Okay, Arian texted me. She's having internet issues. She's gonna get back soon. But the language on the album is so intimate, and it details how we go through different feelings, and for some reason we have it in our mind that we are supposed to rush to get back to a place of happiness and a place of joy. And I'm not quite sure where we got this idea from that we're supposed to be upbeat, happy, positive all the time. I don't know where that came from. And I think maybe social media does play a part in it. But that's just not reality. The reality is we experience every type of emotion there is. We experience disappointments. We experience depression, sadness. We experience all types of things on a day-to-day basis, but we seem to only want to share and post the positive things. And one of the things that I was very intentional about with my platform is that I want people to see all sides of my life. And if you don't follow me or engage with me in any way, I use my platform to share my experiences of overcoming childhood trauma, and the effects that it had on me as an adult, or has on me as an adult. And I kind of journal my experiences through my social media. And while doing that, I try to share, the positive, and I also share the ugly. I share the things that I get triggered by. Just like the other day, I was going to Target to get some deodorant, ran out. And it's too hot in Charleston, South Carolina to be walking around here with no deodorant on. Okay. So I went to Target to get some deodorant, and they didn't have the brand that I normally use. And so I just grabbed another brand, and I grabbed it, just not even really thinking about it, but I saw it and I was like, oh, this is something that I used to use as a teenager. And I didn't think anything of it. And so I grabbed it. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Hallelujah. So I was sharing about my Target run, how I went to grab some deodorant, and ended up getting a brand that I used to use as a teenager because they didn't have my brand, and was instantly triggered, like when I got home, to use it because of the smell. The smell took me back to the experiences I had as a teenager with being abused. And it's amazing, like how things can trigger you out of nowhere. And so the reason I was sharing that is because I was talking about my how I try to, on my platform, try to be honest, fully honest with the different things that I go through, the different, and you do the same thing, where we're giving encouragement, but we're also giving truth as well. And we're letting people know, like, you know what, it's hard to do this thing. I saw a video today of an entrepreneur. She was like, let's normalize showing people the hard days. And it was a video of her crying and just being stressed out and experiencing anxiety, because it is hard to do things that people don't normally do. Being an entrepreneur is challenging, and then being an entrepreneur in the space of combating a social issue that nobody wants to talk about. Like, you talk about stress times 1,000. It's stressful, and there are days where I just be like, I don't want to do it anymore. So
And not only, I mean, entrepreneurship is super stressful, super hard, because like you, especially when you're in the beginning phases of it, because you are the business, you are everything. Um, but when you're also doing platforms like this, like the Lifeboat, like also, all the work that you do, where you're constantly pouring out, because to be transparent, you constantly have to be pouring out, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
that also can weigh heavily on you, right? And so it's so important to not bypass the feelings that you have, not bypassing those sad days, those moments, and
Mhm.
actually allowing yourself to feel that. Because if not, you're gonna eventually burn out. You're gonna eventually be pouring out of an empty cup,
Mhm.
and you're not going to be able to function, and eventually you're just going to actually dig yourself into a deeper and deeper and deeper depression. And so it's just ironic because, like you said, we were both having this kind of week, and we hadn't really touched base in a few days, and when you reached out to me today, and I was just like, girl, I don't even know how I'm gonna get on this this thing tonight, because like I'm just not even feeling it. You know what I mean? And I've been doing. You know what? Let me just, because I have to stream. Okay, I should be all right. So yeah, because I was feeling that way, and we're just like, maybe we should talk about like just this exactly. This is exactly what we should talk about tonight, is just being in that moment and how to
Yeah.
navigate it and how to communicate in those moments, right?
Yeah.
Because even in the song, Monica says, "Don't take it personal. I just want to be all alone." And you think I did you wrong? I think it is, or treat you wrong.
Treat you wrong. Mhm.
You wrong, and a lot of the times, some people in your life sometimes can take those days personal. That you not really being able to pick up in those moments personal. You having to disconnect and like not wanting to talk, take it personal.
Yeah.
Um, and not really understanding is that sometimes like you just need to take time to recuperate, to be able to recharge, and to honestly just go through the motions of feeling what you're feeling.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
think I think some people end up getting offended um because they feel like they should have access to you, or they feel like they're closer to you than they really are.
Mm,
There's a sense of entitlement that they have, like, you're supposed to be available to me. Like, first of all, no,
right,
I'm not. There are a few people that have access to me like unlimited, and
right,
that's my mom or my auntie and my daughter. Like,
right,
that's it. You know,
correct.
those are the ones that I will drop any and everything for to answer their calls. So there's this sense of entitlement, like you're supposed to be available 24/7. And then there are people who mean well, and they take offense because they are givers,
Mhm,
and they are the ones that are always there for everybody else, and they really do just want to be there for you. And so they take offense because it's like you're rejecting their
my
love, you're
yeah,
rejecting help, you're rejecting whatever it is that they feel like they can offer you at that time. And even with that, that's not how we are. That's not the best way to love someone.
mhm. Well, what that is really just telling on both sides is that there's a lack of, like, healthy boundaries, right? And then
Yeah.
there's also a lack of understanding of what healthy boundaries look like. Because a lot of the times, people who are givers, who constantly are giving, also don't have healthy boundaries, because you can be a giver, and you can be there for people, but you also have to have limits on how much you give,
Hmm.
because you have to be able to take care of yourself. Like, you can't continue to pour out, pour out, pour out. You know what I mean? And so there's
Yeah.
that. But also, like, somebody who has healthy boundaries will understand when someone else enforces their own boundaries. You know what I mean? Someone who has an understanding of what boundaries look like are going to be understanding to other people's boundaries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so I have had to, I have had people who have been offended by me having to take a step back, me having to pull up back, um, and and then wanted to act like, well, Arian has changed. She's whatever,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, feeling herself. She got her little lifeboat, her little floater boat. You know what I mean? And she don't got time for no. But that's that's not what it is. Sometimes there's a shift. Sometimes there's boundaries that have to be set because
Yeah.
there's people that are like leeches. You know what I mean? And that just pull and pull and pull and pull. And when you tell them no, it's like they have a baby tantrum.
Yeah. But you
So
said it. You said it like someone who understands what a healthy boundary looks like has no problem adhering to them at
yeah,
all.
right.
And there's a difference between someone taking a pause and someone disconnecting.
There's a difference in pausing and ghosting,
Yeah,
huh?
listen, there's a huge difference between the two.
Right. Because
But if I communicate to you, like if you reach out because that's what we normally do, normal communication, and I let you know in a roundabout way, like the first communication, this is what did it for me. So when I reached out to you, the
hmm
conversation was very short. It wasn't dry, but it was a
hmm
lot shorter. And I know our communication pattern. So I was
hmm
like, okay, that was the first sign, like something's different.
hmm
I was like, she's either at work, she's probably, maybe she ain't wake up yet. I'm just thinking of alternative things, not automatically going to, oh, something is wrong.
hmm
I'm thinking, oh, she's busy because she do got the lifeboat. She do got
hmm
all these other things. She is
A little
Stephanie.
floater boat.
She is Stephanie out here recording, being an actress and recording commercials. She is important, okay? So she is busy. Uh, and so sent something to, I think, Instagram, because we go back and forth on Instagram with crazy stuff that we see.
Right.
Absolutely love it. And even with that, just the reaction was a little bit different. So I'm like, okay, something is off now.
Mhm.
So um in a roundabout way, you communicated something's off. Something's not sitting right with me.
Mhm.
I'm not in my normal headspace.
Mhm.
So I asked, hey, how are you? Like,
Mhm.
what's going on? And then you communicated like it through text, was like, hey, this is going on.
Mhm.
So just notice like over time, like the communication just changed. I didn't take offense to it at all because I recognize like I know what boundaries look like, but I also can recognize when someone is busy, um,
Mhm.
someone is dealing with life, and to give them a pause. You had also communicated to me a week prior that you had some things going on upcoming. And
Yeah.
you had already said, you know what, I already know this is going to be emotional for me. And
Mhm.
so I kept it on my heart and my mind to make sure, like, I'm going to reach out to make sure that you get through this day and that you're okay
Yeah.
best I could. So I made myself available by saying I'm here if you need anything. I
Right.
didn't push, I didn't want no information or anything like that unless you wanted to give it to me. And then today I just felt like, you know what, I ain't seen her face, let me FaceTime her. I ain't text you nothing. I was
I
like, I'm about to
know.
FaceTime her and she better answer. so
And
so
funny enough, I had just been thinking about you, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta call her," but I just got caught up in something else for the moment. But you ended up calling me first. Yeah. Mhm.
So I think that there are things that you can only see when you have relationship,
Huh?
when you
Relationship
actually
is key.
have relationship with
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And if your thoughts are to automatically jump to, oh, they acting funny, then that speaks to the relationship that you have with that person. The relationship ain't as tight as you thought it was.
But it also speaks to your own personal insecurities as
It
well.
does. It
You know?
does. It does.
So it's because a lot of the times it's really not personal unless that it is for a
Right.
fact. Unless
Right.
you know this for a fact, then
That,
it's probably not
yeah.
personal.
Because if you've been trashy or if you did
If
something
you know
like
you trifling, right?
then
Then
you're like, do you start thinking like, do she know? Do he know? Like,
right,
but I didn't automatically jump to an assumption like, oh, she being funny or whatnot. No, like
right.
she's going through something. And and you communicated and said, hey, this is what's going on. And I knew automatically, like, give her space.
Right.
I gave you space. And so when we were talking about the difference between taking a pause and like giving somebody space versus somebody disconnecting, like there's communication that takes place. And if you communicate to me and say, hey, I need some time to process some stuff,
Mhm.
I'm going to respect that. And
Right.
because of the relationship that we have, I trust that that's what it is. It's
Right.
not you trying to string me along to disconnect from me later. It is, no, I'm
No.
dealing with life right now.
Yeah. Mhm.
These are my boundaries right now, and I need you to respect them, and I'm going to respect them. And then we're going to get back to our normal format or routine
Regular
of
programming.
communication. Yes.
Yeah.
Regular. Let's say regular instead of normal, because yeah.
Right. What's up, Jalen? That's our
Hey, Jalen.
clubhouse friend.
Oh yeah, I remember we did the
The grieving. Was it
grieving
grieving?
on
Yeah.
Clubhouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully, you can share this with your audience as well, so that they can get in on the goodies. Um, you know, Getting back to what you said, Ashley, because I didn't even recognize that I was having one of those days for like a couple of days until it was like a few days later. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So I wasn't even conscious or aware enough to communicate where I was at for the first few days, right? I
Yeah.
didn't even, because I was just doing everything, trying to do things to kind of distract myself, not even realizing that I was kind of feeling down, you know,
Yeah.
and that I was drained. Like I was actually physically like incredibly tired. You know what I mean? And so I didn't even have the wherewithal or the consciousness to communicate, hey, like we haven't been talking, or I haven't been, you know, as active and on social media or texting as I normally am, until, a few days in. And I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling like me right now. I'm not doing the things that like I go for a walk. I'm like, I haven't been for a walk. I
Yeah.
haven't been this and that. I haven't been like actually doing the self-care things that I like try to be intentional about doing, um, just to kind of keep me going. And so it's not until that you kind of reached out that I had to kind of like sit back and be like, oh wow. Um, or I think you sent a text or something like, hey, how are you doing? And when you asked me how I was doing, I had to sit back and be like, how am I doing? You know what I mean? And then I was like, oh yeah, like I'm not doing too good. I've just noticed that I've kind of been in a rut for the last few days, but I've been distracting it with Netflix. You know what I mean?
Netflix
Distracting
will
myself with
save you
Netflix,
every time.
right? I've
Yeah.
just been out here watching foolishness and just doing stuff to distract I've been watching, what's it called? Love Island? Yes, Love Island. It's one of them lowbrow reality shows, right? That is just like whatever, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just one of those things where and it didn't feel uncomfortable either. Like you reaching out wasn't annoying, it wasn't whatever, but I did need time to just process where I was at and just kind of help myself come out of it, you know? But
Yeah.
you reaching out the way you did made me more conscious of where I was at. And then the next day, what did I do? I got up and I like intentionally went out and did things in order to kind of get the engine running again, to get back
Yeah.
energy, get that rhythm back, and
And you said you were going to do that too.
yeah, and it wasn't because I wanted to.
Right.
I just knew that I had to,
Yeah.
because if you stay in that place, of like, of that funk for too long, you can easily start to go to kind of seep into a depression. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so um yeah, like, and so when I had communicated to you earlier, I don't mind sharing it on here anyways. I had a pretty tough and emotional um weekend because I had to, for the first time, kind of clear out my mother's like personal items, her bedroom, her clothes, all that stuff, and going through all of that. Like I didn't realize how taxing that was on me. Although in the moment, it's emotional, like having to like be throwing things out or giving things away. Like
Yeah.
that was just like really heavy. but it really like poured into how I was even operating with my week this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just was so, I was disconnected for a moment, you know? But thanks to you and just having friends who are just conscious and friends who are aware and have discernment, you know what I mean? That are able to even pick up when I'm not even aware that I'm not okay or I'm not being
Yeah.
my regular self,
Yeah. But
you know?
and you do the same like for me. And I want to, I guess, take this moment to just really be appreciative of the relationship that we are building, because it just kind of like happened out of nowhere. Um, and I think that it's been extremely beautiful. Like it is turning into a sisterhood, and I've never had a sister ever, and it's something that I've always wanted a sister. I have like little mentees, but
Mhm.
and I got a daughter that's practically like my sister because we close in age. But I love the relationship that we have because I am able to really be myself undiluted and share like the ugliest parts of me without any type of fear of being judged or anything like that. And of course, like I share so much already with the world, but there are certain details, certain intimate details that I shared with you like the other night that really changed my thinking.
Mhm.
Um, we were talking about parents, and I was talking
Mhm.
about like that conversation, like made me have a deeper conversation with my therapist the next day. And honestly, because of what you said, I had to rethink like 80 to 90% of my belief system concerning forgiveness, concerning being loyal, concerning not being loyal, but what loyalty is, concerning like as I shared with you, like I had this unhealthy um loyalty to things and people that mean me no good. And I felt like I was loyal to those things because I was manipulated into thinking that that's how God would want me to treat people. And God does not want me to continue to position people in my life to bring harm to me.
Mhm.
And that's what I have been doing for many years, not even realizing it,
Mhm.
not even realizing that I was taught that by the person who was abusing me for years. And he taught me that to be able to control me. So it
Yeah.
came from a very manipulative place. And all the therapy that I've been doing, all of the things that, the different areas that I've been able to heal in, that was such an eye opener to me. And it made me realize I had an unhealthy idea of what it means to be loyal to something or to someone. And
Yeah.
that came from you, just in conversation, just with you creating a space for me to be able to share those things and really just talk through random thoughts that actually lead to some concrete ideas and belief systems. We
Yeah.
just spitballing, and then all of a sudden we're in this like deep conversation that is not just talking, but it is therapy and it is healing.
Yeah.
So I'm super grateful for how our relationship is evolving, and it's easy to be conscious of certain things, like to make sure that I check on. It doesn't feel like work. It
Yeah.
feels like relationship.
Mhm.
And I think this isn't the first time that I've been in something like this, because I have a sister charity in Chicago. Um, but she busy all over the world as well, doing so much stuff with domestic violence and everything else.
Mhm.
I have that same safe place.
Mhm.
But the time and availability it looks different. And that's how our relationship is, and it's still
Yeah.
good, healthy. But I'm really grateful for what we have and grateful for how it is growing and evolving. So while you sitting there saying, oh, you great and all this wonderful stuff, no, like you're great. Like I should be paying you as much as I pay my therapist.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Yes.
My PayPal is there right now. I'm joking.
Listen.
I don't even know actually.
Listen.
But no, I think that it's good when you can have relationship with people that you can pour into, and then they can pour back into you.
Yeah.
That is called synergy. That is called reciprocity. Those are things that are needed in relationship, right?
Yeah.
When you can, because when I can pour into you and you can pour into me, we are never empty.
Yeah.
Because there are certain friendships, and like you said, you have a lot of mentor relationships where a lot of the times that's pouring out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you have to have also balance in your relationship. You have relationships where you're being poured back into. And it be just healthy, and it be, also just, especially for us who are, Christ believers in Christ, do not keep people in your life that are hurting or manipulating you. Absolutely, Honore, I completely agree. And so, hi, Jillian. Thank you for joining. So, yeah, so I agree with that. I think that it's so important to have balance in your life, to have people in your life that can give you wise counsel, godly counsel. For me, it's important that I have that. And I was even saying to you earlier, like, what kind of sometimes gets me feeling a little like I'm telling my business now. But sometimes I do feel a little bit lonely. And
Yeah.
it's not because, not in a romantic way necessarily, but like, oh no, not in a romantic way, but like in a way that is just like community wise, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because of the pandemic, especially when we weren't really able to see people, and like we're now starting to go back outside, but like there's still some caution that needs to be taken place. And then
Yeah.
two, like a lot of my community in terms of people who I like have fellowship with, or the people who are close to me, who are able to pour into me, don't necessarily live here, like in the same city or even in the same country as me.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, we can FaceTime as much as we like. And that's great. I love FaceTime, but it's not the same as being able to get together with your girlfriends and go out for dinner. No, and don't get me wrong, I have friends here. Well, I have a friend here, or a couple of friends here and there, but
Yeah.
it's not the same kind of community that I'm looking for in terms of just like, being kindred spirits in terms of how we see our faith and what we believe in, and like, what we are striving for in terms of even our platforms, you know what I mean? And so it can get lonely sometimes, just
Yeah.
having, you out in Charlotte, and I've got a really close friend out in New York, and the world isn't opened up in a way that we can just fly to one another for weekends yet, because there's all this quarantining. Are you vaccine? Do you have the vaccine? Do you not have the vaccine? COVID test? It just makes it much more complicated, right? And so yeah, and so that alone, like, can be really heavy to carry alone, when along the way, when you don't have that physical, especially that physical touch, and that like that quality time that you really want,
Yeah.
and your love languages, we talk about them as, relationships in terms of romantic relationships, but your love languages also pour into platonic relationships as well, so
Absolutely.
yeah. And so for me, it is definitely physical touch. It is quality time. It is words of affirmation. Um,
It's a little bit of everything, huh?
a little bit of everything. Yeah, not necessarily in that order, but you know what I mean? but yeah. And so the main one being, I would say for me, physical touch. is hard to kind of have when you don't have that community that you need with you
Yeah.
in person, so.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are experiencing that and have been experiencing that since the pandemic, since we're talking about March of last year, almost a year and a half now. Um,
Hmm.
and if that is your love language and you haven't been loved on in a year
Girl.
and a half, like that makes you feel some type of way. And like you said, it doesn't even have to be like in a romantic way, but even when it comes to the loneliness of the absence of a partner, like that's real as well. And
Mhm.
although um, people love to say, just I ain't even gonna say it. But single Christians get a lot of backlash for communicating that they want a partner or they want a significant other.
Mhm.
And I think that when you possess the qualities of being a good partner to someone and like, I'm called to be a wife, like
Mhm.
I have it in me. Like I know that I'm a wife. You kind of feel like something is always missing
Mhm.
there because I think that something is missing that only that spouse is going to feel as far as that space is concerned. And so I think that
Yeah.
there's always like some void that's there to push us to find or to be found or to position ourselves to partner with the person, the best and suitable person that God has for us.
Yeah.
So in days like yesterday, like if I'm dealing with something emotional and I need or I want the embrace of a man, a black chocolate man, yes, and and I can't have it, like sometimes I'm not even gonna lie, like sometimes that is what would make the difference. When I was in a relationship, I could feel like if I just got that hug from them, that encouragement that he whispers in my ear, nothing sexual, but just something intimate with somebody that you think that you're going to build your life with. Like
Mhm.
it can change your mood. It can take you out of that depressive or that sad state. And
Mhm.
so when you don't have that and you don't have any prospects, you don't even have anybody that you like lightweight feeling
Yeah.
or whatnot. It's just like, oh God, I'm light years away from getting married. And then you think about those things and then you go down a rabbit hole with that. And so I think that that loneliness isn't it's yes for community. It can also be for a romantic or I miss someone being fulfilling the space. And then also there is the void or the loneliness that comes from not receiving what you think you should be receiving from God.
Right.
And you're praying, you're in alignment with where you with his will, you're doing all the things that he's telling you to do, and it just feels like it's just I'm on repeat, but I'm not seeing any results here. It's kind of like you got me
Mhm.
on this pattern, but when is the payoff, Lord? Like I'm doing what you told me to do, like what's up? And
Yeah.
you're not receiving what you feel like you should be receiving. Like there's a loneliness from that as well. And you begin to question, like, am I in alignment? Am
Yeah.
I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And then that's another rabbit hole. So it's so many things that can take us a lot further when we are sad. And so I like one of the things that you were saying is I think it's important for us to identify when we are in those spaces as quickly as we can so that we can begin to address them and begin to just work through them, not necessarily get out of them right away,
Yeah.
but begin to work through them and see what's actually going on and where those feelings trace back to.
For sure, for sure. I think I agree, especially like, for people who are thinkers. I'm definitely a thinker. You know what I mean? And sometimes I can overthink. But
Me too.
it is one of those things where like when you do feel sad and you do feel kind of down, that you're just kind of like, Lord, am I even in the right place this what I'm even supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
And so your mind starts to go down this, like you said, a rabbit hole of like just even starting to doubt like certain things in your life that that on a good day like you be going hard for, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But yeah, all of those things that we desire on when we're having one of them days could kind of just sit when you sit back and really think about it, you can really just go down deeper and deeper and deeper into just your own place of, I don't know, a Lodabar,
Yeah.
your own Lodabar.
Come on.
Come on, Lodabar.
Take us to the book. Huh?
Let's go Bible. Like Pastor Hannah said, let's go Bible.
Listen, I can't
Read.
I can't take the last time I heard that.
Oh, listen, I love watching his Saturday night devotionals. They're so good. But I digress. I really am so grateful for you because Lord knows the lifeboat might have even been canceled tonight because I just was not even. I was not even. But it's good to have friends who keep you accountable and who can just also like inspire and not only just inspire but like encourage you to kind of get up and get it together. You know what I mean? Because I've been having a good run at this right now, like in terms of like just consistency and just building. Yeah. And the devil is a lie, and he smells like smoke. And and yeah, it just only takes one thing to kind of throw you off, and then you get off of your momentum, right?
Yeah.
Your consistency, and you start to develop bad habits. Especially when I know that God gave me this life, like from everything from the colors to the name, it was not my idea, it was God's idea.
Yeah.
And so I have to keep pressing through and pressing on. And it's just really nice to have friends like you and like, well, she's not on here tonight, Taylor.
Taylor gets a pass. Taylor, like, oh my gosh.
She's got a lot going on.
Yeah, she supports everybody.
She does. But like even Taylor, like, will light a fire under my butt when I'm not like, when I'm not doing what I got to do or being as consistent. She'll be like, what's the plan?
Like, what's going on?
What you gonna do about it, right? Like she will definitely, so, but she's got a whole lot going on her own stuff as well. But yeah, like it's really great to have people like that in your life to just kind of press you, to push you and give you that boost of encouragement that you need. So thank you so much.
Listen, thank you. You do the same. So you're only getting back what you get.
I'm reaping what I sowed.
Yes.
Principle.
I knew it was coming.
Right. Anyhow, I'm gonna call it a night because we 50 minutes in. I mean, it probably wasn't that long because we had so many technical difficulties along the way. But thank you guys for sticking it through. And if you haven't hit share yet, make sure you do hit share so that other people can just kind of get in on this little conversation we had about them days, honey.
Yes.
We have them days sometimes that just make you feel like,
like, what is life?
What is going on? I just can't even get it going. The engine won't run. Need a jump start.
Yes, Lord.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. Make sure you hit share. Make sure you hit like. Let me see in the comments if you enjoyed it. Put them hands in the air. Put them hands in the air. Thank you. Yunori says thank you. Thank you, Yunori, for watching. And if you're watching on, were you gonna say something?
Oh no, I was just saying thank you.
Oh yes, come on. I can do it in Z flat for you if you like.
Yes, Z flat.
So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe and hit the little bell on the side for notifications as well so that you know whenever we go live. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you guys shortly. I'm just going to let Ashley go ahead and introduce herself one more time and kind of, well, she's not a stranger to the Lifeboat. You guys most likely know who she is, but in case it's your first time, this is Ashley Nicole Cook.
Hey y'all,
And
what
she's
up? What
you know
up?
where you can follow her and where you can how you can support her as well.
Yes, so you can follow me. My handle is right there by my name at Hello Ashley. Hello Ashley Cook. Just making sure that sometimes I write the wrong name. So yes, follow me, engage with me. Yeah, I mean that's about it. You know, God is good. Yes, I would love to get to know you guys and love to make you laugh on my platform. Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Jillian. All right, so Ashley, I'm gonna put you backstage while I sign us out on tonight, and I'll see you shortly. Okay?
Okay, doke.
Okay. Bye bye. All righty then. So I am just so, I'm just just so glad to have community and people, on my side. And I'm glad, I really hope that for every single one of you, that you have also community and people who are there to encourage you when you're having one of them days. Okay, because we all need somebody. Nobody is an island. And if you do isolate yourself for long enough, it just will not end well. So, you can retreat, but don't surrender. Huh? That's a word right there. You can retreat, but don't surrender. Uh, Retreat for a couple of days, get yourself together, and come right back. But on that note, thank you so much for watching tonight. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this and shared. And just remember that we're always back here every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And I will be back again. So until then, make sure that you continue to sail on.